Good morning, everybody. Thank you very much for joining me. My name is Matt Alina, and I am the Final Expense Manager here at URL Insurance Group. And today is Monday, September 9th, and it is our Final Expense Monthly Monday. Since last Monday was Labor Day, we kind of get our schedule pushed back a week, but thank you very much for joining us. For those of you who are brand new to the Final Expense Monthly Monday webinars, we do a webinar the first working Monday of every month where it basically pertains to things that are going on within the final expense industry or the final expense marketplace. Final expense marketplace is one of those areas where it's one of the fastest growing segments of the life insurance industry because you're working with baby boomers, you're working with seniors. And I don't know if your life is like mine, but once we hit September, it seems like everyone hits the full throttle going into the remainder of the year. There's a lot going on. It's been extremely busy, and I do appreciate everybody taking time to join me in today's webinar. Also, one of the things, last week we had a conference, a Medicare Connections conference, so it was great to see a lot of faces, a lot of you Medicare agents that are on the call today. Special welcome to you as well. I hope that you'll find that some of the information that we share today is going to help you on the Medicare side and basically to help it grow additional revenue without having to go and prospect for new additional clients. So for those of you who are new to the life insurance industry, or maybe you're not aware, but September is Life Insurance Awareness Month. This is the month, 1 month out of the year where we kind of signal Life Insurance Awareness Month and what life insurance can do. It's more or less an education for you to educate your clients on what life insurance can do for them, their families, their business, etc. So coming up a week from today, is our Foresters Lunch and Learn. It's for Life Insurance Awareness Month. We have a speaker series. So Monday, September 16th, right now at this time, you'd be joining us. You can come here at the URL offices. We'll be having Foresters, one of our core final expense carriers, and they're going to be talking about different sales techniques, sales tips, and going over their product portfolio and what they do in the marketplace and things that are going on within the Foresters community. So that is Monday, September 16th, and that's from about 10:30 until noon, and we'll have lunch provided as well. And then for the traditional life markets, Pacific Life's coming in here on Tuesday, September 17th for a lunch and learn, same time, about 10:30 until noon here at the URL offices. You can register for either of these events, both of these events. You can go to our website to register, or you can send me an email and I'll get you signed up for that as well. So hopefully, if any of you are in the central Pennsylvania area, you can make it to one of these upcoming events. I came across something interesting a couple of weeks ago, and this is a invoice from an undertaker based in Chicago from June 15th of 1892. And I just came across what it cost for like a coffin and to have 27 carriages and a shroud and everything else there. I just thought it would be interesting to share. Back then in 1892, it seemed like a fairly large funeral. They needed 27 carriages. That was the most expensive thing. It was $81. But the whole thing was $292.10. And this is in Chicago in 1892. That's how much a funeral cost back in those days. So on our monthly Monday, today's agenda, we're going to go over an introduction to our final expense sales, what we do here, how you can get involved in selling final expense with us here at URL. We'll also get into URL's lead program and lead subsidies, and we do subsidize your lead costs. I'll get into that in more detail. We'll talk about the companies that we have. We have a company spotlight where we highlight a company or two and talk about some of the interesting things about them and why you might want to consider adding them to your product list or product portfolio. We'll also share with you some sales tips, things that'll help you out, things that you can kind of lock back in the memory banks and maybe implement some of those things in your sales practices today. And we'll also talk about different agent bonuses and incentives. And this is an open forum. So if there are any questions that you have or any comments, any challenges, successes, whatever you have had in the last month or so in final expense, feel free to type those, and I'll be happy to share them with the rest of the group here. I'm happy to answer any questions as well. There's no question that's dumb. You can ask any questions. There are people with different learning curves and stuff here that maybe you've never done final expense sales and you're not sure how it works. I'll be happy to answer those questions as well. So here at URL Insurance Group, we have what we call the Playbook for Success. Basically, we can help you and coach you in final expense, whether it's providing you with sales materials like scripts, sales guides. We have an online quoting tool. For you Medicare producers, we have a proven turnkey marketing program that'll help you readdress your Medicare clients at a later date to talk to them about final expense. We have different tools and resources to help you at a Medicare appointment with letting your Medicare clients know that you can help them with other products and services. We do webinars like what you're experiencing right now. We have seminars like you'll experience next week, as well as one-on-one training. We have a bunch of different consumer materials, whether it's memorial books, consumer brochures. We have different letters. We have seminar materials that you can use as well, a bunch of different lead resources, and of course, we subsidize your lead cost based on your production. Our final expense portfolio grows every day. We'll be talking about a new company that we have just added to our portfolio here in the last couple of weeks. We have a final expense quote engine. When you go to our website at urlinsgroup.com/Aries, if you go to Departments and Life Markets, you'll see we have a quoting tools area, and you can get your quotes by clicking under the quoting tools, final expense. It's going to take you to this next page here that you'll see on the left-hand side of your screen, where you'll put in the state that the sale is taking place, the client's date of birth, their gender, tobacco or not tobacco, and the amounts of coverage. And then here where it says benefit, you can change that to level, graded, modified, guaranteed issue. You do not need to do anything with this access key, and all you need to do is click Get Quotes Now. And then on the right-hand side, it'll take you to this next screen where it'll do the shopping for you. So you're not going to want to get licensed with all 20 plus final expense carriers that we have, but you'll want to have some of these top sellers, and we can have a one-on-one conversation on what the best carriers are for you in the area that you are marketing. I want to get into our lead programs, and I'm going to say this, and I'll say this a couple of times today. Now is the time to order. When we get into October, the senior clients are going to be getting bombarded with mailers regarding Medicare. We're getting into Medicare season. So if you have money allocated for leads for October, November, and December, you might want to move that up to now. Basically, start stockpiling some of these leads, the final expense leads now, because the response rates for final expense mailers is very low. It's very slow during October and November especially. So here are some of the prices for some of the different lead options available. Now, these are just lead vendors that we have used in the past that have worked well for agents. There are other lead vendors out there that you can certainly use, and if it's been working for you, if it's not broken, don't fix it. So we have direct mail leads, and that's for a 1,000-piece mailer. These are exclusive leads. So these leads are going out to the areas that you want to target, and they're going back directly to you. They're not going to you and a bunch of other agents. And it's $460 to $500 for a 1,000-piece mailer. You can do a guaranteed response where they'll do enough mailings to guarantee that you're going to get at least 20 leads, and those prices range anywhere from $32 to $35 a piece. And again, they're exclusive leads. It's a defined sales territory. Then there's also verified teleleads, and this is a telemarketing company based out of Arizona. They are US-based callers, and what they'll do for $25 per lead, 10 lead minimum order, You also have a defined sales territory, and it's typically 3 or 4 counties that you want to target, and they will make phone calls to people in those areas and then send any interested people to you. Again, they're exclusive, so these leads are not going to you and a bunch of other competitors. They're your leads. These leads are never resold. We also have Facebook leads. I don't have anybody using Facebook leads. The prices are a little bit expensive at this point. It's $30 a lead, 20 lead minimum order. You're notified in real time. And again, these leads are exclusive to you. There are internet search leads that we also have available. We haven't seen much success with that. I know it does work well for Medicare sales. You would want to talk to our Medicare folks about that. We also have basic tele leads, and those range anywhere from $10 to $15 a lead. They're not U.S.-based callers. Some people have an issue with that. So basic tele leads are $10 to $15 a lead, and again, these are exclusive leads, so these leads are not resold. And I mentioned before, now is the time to order. So any monies that you've had allocated for ordering leads for final expense in October, November, and even into December, you want to kind of push that forward if you can, move it up to about now. By the end of this week, you're going to be spending money and not getting the best results. So if let's say you ordered a 1,000-piece mailer, you might want to bump that up to 1,500 or a 2,000-piece mailer, so that you have some leads stockpiled for the leaner months. So we're entering into Medicare season, so final expense leads do slow down. You might even want to consider expanding your territory. So instead of 3 or 4 counties, maybe bump it up to 5 or 6 counties. So order more leads August and September, and let me talk to you about our lead subsidies. So for Gemini partners, you know who you are on this call. Gemini partners are partners who have consolidated all of their contracts under one roof here at URL. And by doing that, we're giving back to you with free E&O, other different bonuses. And one of those bonuses, or one of those things that we do, is give our Gemini partners $80 for every $1,000 of paid annualized final expense premium. Now, we didn't forget about our standard partners. We understand that you may have some other deal somewhere else with other competitors of ours, and we understand that, and we respect that. And we still subsidize your lead costs. So we'll give you $50 for every $1,000 of paid annualized final expense premium that you've placed. So just to give you an example, if you place $5,000 in final expense annualized premium during the month of September, Gemini agents are going to get a $400 lead credit, and our standard agents are going to get a $250 lead credit. You can utilize one of our lead vendors if you want, or you can utilize a lead vendor of your choice. It doesn't matter. We're just here to help you generate more sales and get in front of more people. So how do you get started? It really is very cliche. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. The first step is to select your carrier. Select the companies. You probably want about 3 or 4 companies at most. One of those companies would be a guaranteed issue company, and then you'd want to have some of the companies that you want to select, and you're going to have that leader, the company that you're going to want to go in the door with to lead off when you go and meet with somebody. Then you'll submit your contracting. If you haven't already done that, maybe we already have your licensing flash packet on file. That makes it even easier. All you need to do is notify me of what companies you select. I can also help you with selecting those carriers, and then we can get our licensing department to get you contracted. And then order leads. Telemarketer leads generally take about 48 to 72 hours to start getting results. Mailers take about 3 weeks to start coming back. And if you're brand new to URL, or you're new to selling life insurance with us or final expense life insurance with us here, we're going to give you an extra $25 per placed final expense application during your first 60 days. So you must be new to URL and you haven't submitted business with URL in the past 24 months, and I'm talking life insurance business. And it's business that's placed within the first 60 days. The minimum annualized premium for final expense to qualify for this bonus is $500, and you can kind of double dip because we're still going to give you the lead subsidy, and we're also going to give you this additional bonus. I mentioned last month during our monthly Monday that we have a new carrier, and it is now official. We now have a brand new company called KSKJ Life. If you ever take a look at their rates, you can look at them on our quote engine. You will find that they have the top rates in the final expense industry. We have been trying to get them on board with us for about 2 years because agents have been getting tired of KSKJ agents coming in behind them and replacing business that they've already placed because KSKJ rates are just that good. So KSKJ Life is brand new to URL. And let me give you a little synopsis of what they're all about. They've been serving the fraternal insurance community for over 125 years, and we're in their 125th year. And as I said, they're extremely competitive in final expense with their final expense plans. They also have a full portfolio of other products, including annuities and single premium life, traditional whole life. They have. But going back to their final expense, they have 2 level benefit whole life plans and 1 modified benefit whole life plan. Their death benefits range from $5,000 to $25,000. And they also, because they're a fraternal benefits company, they offer member benefits. These are anybody that has a certificate or a policy with KSKJ Life, they're entitled to education grants. They have discounted programs for prescription drugs, retail, travel, hearing tests, hearing aids, things like that, as well as entertainment. So if you're in this is almost specifically for Pennsylvania, but there are other states that they're in. But KSKJ Life is a company. If you're interested in getting contracted with them, contact me and we'll get that facilitated for you. So moving on, if you're a Medicare agent or your final expense agent, this is your marketplace. You're dealing with senior clients. And one of the biggest sales tips that I can give you going into the Medicare season is cross-selling. Cross-selling, cross-selling. It's all about you helping your clients. So you're helping your clients during Medicare season with getting their Medicare plans so that they can see their doctors for their routine visits, get their medications that they may need, and if something happens to them that they have to go to the hospital, that is all taken care of. You're giving them peace of mind regarding their health insurance. But what happens if your client passes away? Not all of our clients are guaranteed to get sick, but we are all guaranteed to die at some point. We just don't know when. And for some of our clients, passing away is going to leave a huge financial burden to their loved ones. And that's where cross-selling and helping them with life insurance and planning for their final needs is extremely important. That's where Life Insurance Awareness Month comes into play. So here are 7 tips to cross-selling. Number 1 is focus on the relationship. When you're dealing with a senior client, somebody that is eligible for Medicare, it is all about taking care of that client. And it's a relationship. They can go with any Medicare agent in the country or in that state, and they have chosen to go with you. So build that relationship. And it kind of goes down to, if you look at it, it really is the 80-20 rule, where 20% of your clients are going to provide you about 80% of your revenue. And when you're focusing on the relationship, yeah, you're looking to sell additional products, but that's not your main objective. Basically, what you're trying to do is frame yourself as a one-stop shop, and that you're offering your clients a total asset protection. So number 1, focus on the relationship. Number 2, know your clients. It's important to know what's going on in their lives, whether they're married or divorced, if they've lost a spouse or a child, God forbid, or any of those things, or even children or grandchildren. All it is about building rapport with your clients that is going to establish stronger relationships. Establishing stronger relationships is going to create an opportunity for future sales. Number 3, analyze your client's data. By looking at somebody and just selling them a Medicare plan, you may find if you ask them some questions like what would happen or who's going to be responsible for preparing your funeral if you were to pass away. I know it's kind of a tricky thing to ask a client this, especially so no one likes to talk about death and dying and stuff like that, but these are real concerns of your clients. You may have a client that has a high net worth. Maybe they've got some money that's tied up in CDs or in a money market. It may be an opportunity for an annuity sale. Either way, analyze your client's data. Ask them some questions so that you kind of get an idea of, and you're able to basically build your own client profile. And make it a process. Number 4, make it a process. Meet with your clients regularly. You'll find that there's going to be some changes, and you need to adapt your products and services to meet those changes. And so make it a process. Don't just do it on every once in a while. Do it routinely. Send emails and letters to clients. That's number 5. You want to stay in contact with your clients. As you probably already know, and if you don't, let this be kind of a warning to you in the senior marketplace especially, there are agents out there that are trying to win your clients and steal your clients. So if you're selling, let's say you're selling Medicare, and your client responds to a lead mailer for final expense. That final expense agent may also be selling Medicare. So they may sell the client a final expense plan, but what's stopping them from revisiting them about their Medicare plan later on that year? So staying in front of your clients to let them know that you can help them with other things and just to communicate with them, it's just a way of staying in front of them. So make sure you're sending emails and letters to your clients. Basically, you want to communicate your value to your clients and what you can do for them. Number 6, don't give up. You're going to have attempts where you're going to try to sell your client a final expense plan or just a life insurance plan in general to your Medicare client. Or maybe you're a final expense agent and you are trying to win their Medicare business, but maybe they have a relationship with that Medicare agent. Either way, don't give up. When somebody says no, it may not, it's basically that no translate into not yet. So just keep persevering. In ABC in sales, we've heard it always be closing. Well, in this case, it's always be cross-selling. And number 7, prospect during the sale. You want to understand their situation and their circumstances. It's going to help you later on. By prospecting, you'll also be able to get referrals to be able to help their friends and their family with other products and services. You can't be a one-trick pony. You have to expand your market and expand your services so that you're helping more clients than just Medicare, just final expense, or anything. You can do all of those things. And when you partner with us here at URL Insurance Group, we help you. We can coach you with all of these different things. So just some food for thought there, and all that good stuff. So those are the 7 tips for cross-selling. I know it's hard work. What you do is not easy. But one of the things to keep in mind, especially with final expense carriers, they like to say work hard, play hard. So when you work hard, a lot of these carriers have some really great trips available and planned for you. Like Foresters, they have a Greek island cruise like Santorini in those areas for 2020. If you did $90,000 of minimum production with them, you're on a Greek island cruise. KSKJ Life, one of our newest carriers, 44,000 St. Kitts in 2020. That's very small. Another company that we just added to our portfolio earlier this year is Western Catholic Union. Now, they were originally going to Punta Cana, and I didn't change the slide. For $40,000 of annualized premium, Western Catholic Union was sending people to Punta Cana. It has now been changed to a 7-night Caribbean cruise with Royal Caribbean due to the safety concerns in the Dominican Republic. So they've changed that. But here's a list of some of the trip incentives that some of these carriers have. So definitely keep that in mind. And that brings us to our next, one thing I want to point out, we do have our trip as well. So when you qualify for some of these trips, basically if you average about $60,000 in annualized premium, this is across the board with most of our carriers across all of the different departments, you and a guest would qualify for our URL President's Club trip, and that's at the Hotel Bennett in Charleston, South Carolina. Just something to keep in mind there. So hope you can make that trip as well. This is the point when in our webinar where we have our open forum. This is where we want to hear your questions, concerns. What are some of your challenges? What are some of your successes? If you've been ordering leads, how are those leads working out for you? And if you haven't done final expense, and maybe you're on the fence about giving it a try, what can I do to help you give it a try? So that's some of the things I'm looking for today. I know some questions have been coming in while we've been going through some of the different slides here. So let me open the forum up here to any questions that you have typed. And while I'm doing that, here's my contact information. You can reach me toll free at 800-926-8875 extension 141, or my direct line is 717-216-8041, and my email address is matta@urlinsgroup.com. Let's see. Great question from Stephen. Stephen, thank you for the question. The question is, I want to write my first policy. Where do I start? And that's a good question. We would have to determine what carriers you want to write. If you know what carriers you want to write, Stephen, if you've already kind of done some quoting on our website, that'll basically give us a little bit of direction as to who you get contracted with. So really it is selecting the carriers, number one. Number two, submitting your contracting. And then we can, depending on where you are, what state you're in, like Pennsylvania is a pre-appointment state, which means you need to be licensed with the company prior to submitting business. But there are, in other states like Maryland and some of the other surrounding states of Pennsylvania, you can submit business with your first application. So let's select a carrier. My contact information is there on the screen for you. Feel free to give me a call and we can discuss it. We can get you the application paperwork as well. So that's a great question. If there's any other questions, feel free to type those questions. I did have a question about if we record these, and yes, we do. All of our training videos that we do across the country or across the company are recorded, and we have a YouTube channel. You can access the YouTube channel either by going to YouTube, or you can go to our website at urlinsgroup.com, and on the top right-hand corner of the screen, you'll see the icon for YouTube, and you can click on that, and it'll take you to all the different recorded trainings that we have done over the last couple of years that will help you. We've done these different monthly webinars, and we've done more specific webinars on basically final expense sales 101 to the truth about final expense sales, and even with Medicare and annuities and traditional life, etc. So we do have a lot of these different trainings. Jay asked, what states can you write KSKJ Life? I'm going to have to check it in on that. I know Pennsylvania is on there for a fact, Ohio, Kentucky, Tennessee, I believe, Illinois, and there's a few others. There's probably about maybe 10 or 12 states in total that they're available. So that's kind of just a general area. But I'll check, Jay. I know where you're located, so I'll check for that. But KSKJ Life, they're extremely competitive, and I'll check to see if they're there, Jay. If there's any other questions, feel free to type those questions, and I'll be happy to get those questions answered for you. So I'll give that a couple of minutes. And again, my contact information, my toll-free number again is 800-926-8875, extension 141. My direct line, this bypasses our switchboard. It goes right into me. It's 717-216-8041. And my email address is matta@urlinsgroup.com. I'm not seeing any additional questions coming in. I do appreciate the questions that we've received so far, and I know that there's going to be some other questions that'll come up throughout the day and throughout the week. If you're going to be ordering leads, now is the time to do it. So let me know if I can help you with facilitating an order, or if there's any lead vendors that you want contact information for. I'll be happy to help you with that as well. So until next time, oh, and one last thing, don't forget to register for next week's Forrester's Lunch and Learn. It's a week from today, September 16th. I hope you guys can make it here at the URL offices in Harrisburg. So until next time, have a great week, and we will talk to you all very soon. Take care, everybody.